We're talking today about the subject matter competency requirement to earn a teaching credential and the multiple ways that you can meet that requirement. Every teacher who is seeking a credential does need to satisfy this requirement. It does assure that you have knowledge in the subject matter that you will teach. And in addition, special educators do need to meet this requirement for all education specialist credentials, with the caveat that the early childhood special education credential seeker does not have to meet the CSET or subject matter requirement. So let's talk about how you can do this with coursework. You know that you may take the CSET, or you may have a degree in an area that automatically qualifies you to meet the subject matter requirement, or there is a coursework match. So let's talk about those degree options. If you wanted to meet any of the CSETs, either multiple subject CSET or one of the single subject CSETs, perhaps you earned an academic degree in a major that is listed here. So if you majored in liberal studies, you would automatically meet the subject matter requirement for the multiple subjects. Perhaps you have a degree in one of these other 15 areas covered by the CSET. And if that is the case, if your undergraduate degree was in one of these 15 areas listed here, which are equivalent to the single subject CSET choices or liberal studies, then you may submit to your program to review your degree, and they will let you know if your degree matches. You do need to have this exact word in your degree for it to be an automatic match. So how do you meet the subject matter requirement? You can pass one of these CSETs by name. You may have earned an undergraduate degree in one of these very same areas, and that would meet the subject requirement. Or there is also an opportunity to try to match your degree coursework with the components of one of these CSETs. So we're going to show you what that might look like. The example we're using is the multiple subject matter requirements. So let's say you did not earn a degree in liberal studies, but you think you earned a degree that is very similar to that, and you believe you have the coursework that matches the different domains and components that the CSET, multiple subject CSET, tests. We have a template that you can use to do this. So the first page I'm showing you here are the directions for doing that. And it starts by just introducing you to the fact that you can use this matrix below to determine if you have completed coursework that does match each of the domains for multiple subjects. Before we go through each of these directions in detail, I just want you to take a look at the actual template, because our first piece of advice is to just look at the template and have your transcript out and see if you do in fact have coursework that matches each of these. So again, this is the multiple subject template. There are 3 subtests, and in each subtest is a different domains and topics. So for CSET subtest 1, you will see domains and elements in reading, language, and literature. Further down the template, still CSET subtest 1, will be domains and elements in history and social science. Then we move on to CSET subtest 2 content. Subtest 2 covers some domains in mathematics and several domains in science. And then CSET subtest 3 for multiple subjects covers some domains and topics in human development. And as you scroll down, you'll see, I'm sorry, that was the last domain. There are also some domains in subtest 3 that covers physical education. And then you'll see some others in visual and performing arts. All right. So let's go back to the directions and see what this will take. But you can see in this template that there are many domains and many different areas that you would need to match to meet the requirements. So back to the directions, let's take a peek at them. So you saw the columns in these domains. This suggests that you would look at the left column domains, but in the right column, for each subdomain, you're going to provide the name and the number of the course or courses that you are choosing from your transcript as a content match. To those words, you will link the course description from the course catalog showing that the same or similar topics in that subdomain are also found in the course description. And number 3, you need to provide the number of units you earned and the grade that you earned. So this example here shows you what it should look like if you have completed that portion correctly. So this example shows the letters and the numbers of that course. So it's MTH 205, means it's offered by the math department. So it's Math 205. The course name is Number, Systems, and Theory. This person earned 3 units in that course and earned a grade of B+. This course is linked to the course catalog found online directly to the course description, so that the person analyzing your work can see, oh yes, the same topics and basically the same content from this course that this person took in their degree is basically the same as the CSET content. So let's look at the other considerations. Here it says to make sure that you use coursework only from an accredited community college or university, as long as it was credit bearing and you earned a grade of C or its equivalent, which would be a pass or a credit or higher. You may also use several courses to meet each subdomain. It doesn't have to be just one course. And you may use a course more than once if it applies to several domains or subdomains. Here we are on the 4th bullet, the linked course description. If it's not directly linked to the course description itself that we find online, sometimes it's a very, very old catalog and you need to download a PDF version perhaps of that catalog. If you're showing us a whole page and the course you want us to look at is just a small portion of that page, we need you in bullet 4 to highlight that course description showing the similar content to the subdomain description. All right, generally if it's an online catalog, you can link directly to that one course description and we have no question about what course you're wanting us to look at. But if it's an old PDF copy that you needed to download, please do highlight that course description and the words in that course description that you are finding to be a match. Bullet 5, as a guide, the course description evidence you provide must meet the majority of the domain to be acceptable. It does not have to be a perfect match. It does not have to have all the same words as the domain that you are linking it to, but it must topically be similar to that domain. Lastly, at the very end of this template, you will link a copy of all community college or university transcripts that you used to make this match. So any transcripts you used as evidence, they need to be linked at the bottom of the matrix, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we do have a suggested process for you. We will receive this work from you, and if it is not complete or it is not following the directions, it will be returned to you with an explanation of what needs to be done differently. The suggested process is here. We do suggest that before you go into this work that you have a printed copy of your transcripts that you expect to pull from, as well as the online catalog pulled up from the institution. Do read the domains and the subdomains of this entire template to get a sense of the topics that are going to be required of you to meet this, and then start highlighting the courses in your transcript that you think might have a good subject matter match. Then, after looking at the entire template and seeing how much, at that point you might say, oh gosh, I really don't have enough coursework to meet all these topics. Or you might find out, oh yeah, I think that I should be spend the time to do this work. So you'll want to, at this very last piece, you'll want to highlight particular words in the course description and highlight the same or similar words in the subdomain, just to get a sense that you really you do have a good match. When you think the course is a match, then you'd fill in the boxes on the right exactly as the example indicates above. Okay. So let's take a look at an example of somebody who completed some of this work. As a reminder, we'll go right here to the history and social science, for example. CSET subtest 1. You can try to meet just one of the subtests. You don't have to meet all of them. So perhaps you have a lot of content in subtest 1, which is the language, literature, language arts and writing, and history and social science. Then you would be waived of 2 subtests and only have to take the CSET subtest 3. So I will show you an example of what one of our candidates did for their match. This candidate chose to try to meet CSET subtest 2, which again is mathematics and science. So this is the example. He wrote the name of the course, MAT 121. It was called College Algebra. This candidate chose also to link to the syllabus, which I thought was handy. It is not required of you, but he thought it was helpful to try to make his case that it was a good match. He indicated how many units and the grade that he earned. So if you see here, it goes right to the actual catalog and to the exact course that he wants us to read. So we read this and then we go back to the actual description of that domain. And in fact, that course does have these elements of numbers, relationships among numbers, and number systems. So this particular course he used again here because the course also deals with computational tools, procedures, and strategies. All right, so that's a very nice example of the way that this candidate used the template. More examples here from statistics, data analysis, and probability, completely different courses. And then was also able in his transcript to find these elements of science. So in the science elements are physical science, and then we'll see life science, and then we'll see earth and space science. So you notice that the example we provide in the directions is exactly what we're seeing in this template, and this was a well done template. We also do have templates for you in each of the single subject areas. And again, if your degree does not exactly match the name of one of those 16 CSET options, you could potentially do a course equivalent match that we're showing you here to try to meet one or several of the subtests within any one of these CSETs. So please do reach out if you would like to talk more about how to use the matrix with your transcripts and determine if you think your coursework will match one or more of the CSETs.